Last highlight of the movie, Bulma. BBL Bulma. That's all I gotta say. Just expect it. Just expect to see it. Today, I am here to talk to you guys about Dragon Ball Superhero, the movie that just came out in theaters. Honestly, just the fact that it's focusing on someone other than Goku and Vegeta is like really huge. Gohan being the fan favorite is like, and the movie being surrounded on him is like fire. Kind of surrounded on, it's like him in the spotlight, kind of to say. Same with Piccolo. Again, I prefer it 2D. I would have preferred it 2D. Just like Broly. The Broly style was like perfect. Like if they were to animate every movie in the Broly style, I would not be mad. The CG animation was not bad. I just would have preferred it to be 2D. The end of the movie would have been a lot better in 2D in my opinion, at least. But you know, it was still good. It was a lot better than I thought the CG would turn out. You know, some of the highlights for me were just seeing Pan on screen. I loved every scene with Pan. She was adorable. And I really enjoyed her interactions with Piccolo. It reminded me of the Gohan days, but it kind of made me see how soft Piccolo has gotten, because he was even kind of soft with her. Again, seeing Goten and Trunks in the movie was also one of my highlights, even though they were in there for not too long. It was near the end of the movie, but they were both some of my favorite characters, especially with their fusion in the original series. So I loved seeing them grown up, like actually grown, not the little Goten and Trunks. It's the teen ones. They were there. They were in their teens, it looked like, and it was just really nice to see them. The last 30 to 40 minutes of the movie were crazy. Like they were amazing. Despite, you know, how long it took to get there, I think it was like a good twist in a way. I'll talk about my cons in a second for the movie, but the last 30 to 40 minutes, I was literally like, I had chills a few times watching it in the theater. The fights were really, really good. I just like how things kind of switched. You kind of sense when there's a switch in the storyline, and you know, it ends up being something that we probably wouldn't have guessed would happen. But you know, I also kind of like that. Dang, I'm trying not to spoil it too much, but yeah, the last 30 to 40 minutes for like Dragon Ball fans, you're gonna enjoy it a lot. I know there were some people, I talked to some people who watched it who had never really watched Dragon Ball like that were like, eh. So like, again, if you're not really a Dragon Ball fan, it's kind of like it'll fall lower on the scale for you, because there's a lot of things that Dragon Ball fans will pick up on that they did in the movie. A lot of fan service that is preferred to Dragon Ball fans, and a lot of humor was that Dragon Ball fans are like used to. And of course, like in my opinion, the humor was kind of like outdated. You know, it was like, you know, some of the things were like, oh brother, like that type of humor. But that's, you know, that's what Dragon Ball humor is basically. Last fight, well, plural fights, were really, really good. I keep just going back to the last 30 to 40 minutes because everything else, it took a while for me to, like, you know, get invested in the movie. Last highlight of the movie, Bulma. BBL Bulma. That's all I gotta say. Just expect it. Just expect to see it. That leads me to some of the cons I had for the movie. Again, the CGI actually wasn't a con. I just, you know, prefer my 2D. But one of the biggest cons for me was that, and it actually doesn't even have to do with the movie. It's just the fact that I was previously spoiled for it before going into the movie, so I kind of already had expectations going in. Not for the movie as a whole, but for the end. Again, those expectations were surpassed, but it kind of made getting through the movie hard because I knew what was going to come at the end. So that kind of ruined it a bit for me because I was spoiled on transformations. I was spoiled on plot points. And, you know, it just took me a while to get invested into the movie. You know, the bright spots were seeing Pan on screen. That's when I got invested again, because I loved seeing her as a little girl interacting with Piccolo, interacting in the world, because we didn't really get a lot of Pan before GT. Outside of seeing Pan, it was kind of hard to stay invested in the story. I'm not gonna lie, I was like not falling asleep, but I was just like, the other like con I had with the movie was that there was a points where you saw Vegeta and Goku, because they're still, Dragon Ball faces of the Dragon Ball franchise, Dragon Ball Z franchise. So you saw them, but like they weren't. I don't know. Every scene with them seemed kind of off to me. That's kind of where the lowest of the low for the CG was for me. I don't know why. Maybe it was just the fact that it was Goku and Vegeta. I don't know why they couldn't have animated them a little bit better. I'm not. It's like really picky, but you notice it. Like you notice the animation as a whole, the movements. It's kind of choppy, and the character models seemed like not as good as they should have been for CG. Like video game renders for those characters were a lot better from what I remember. And just the whole Goku and Vegeta portion of the movie, I'm not saying it wasn't needed, but it could have been done a lot better. Animation was choppy, character models were like that was probably one of my other lows for the movie. But other than that, the movie at the end, it did what it needed to do for me. I was pondering going to see it again, but I don't know if I will. I really wanted to see it with like a hype crowd, because I love watching anime movies when the whole crowd's into it, when it's like sold out. But that's stuff you only get to see on the first week. So I'm definitely gonna make sure to do that for One Piece Film Red. That's a side note though. My final rating for Dragon Ball Super Superhero is 7 out of 10. But for my rating scale, I'm gonna give a rating and then I'm gonna give what I feel. So like final rating 7 out of 10, and I really think that it's worth a watch. It's worth watching, I would say, especially if you're a Dragon Ball fan. Even if you're not, it's less enjoyable. Final rating, I gave it a 7 out of 10. It honestly would have been a 6 out of 10 had they not done what they did in the final minutes of the movie, because that was like crazy. Like it brought back my inner child. Like, oh, it was so good. But just the way they handled the last few moments of the movie, moments meaning the last 30 minutes of the movie, I think it would have been a 6 out of 10 had they not done what they did at the end. Like if they didn't execute at the end, it would have been a 6 out of 10, but I'm gonna give it a solid 7 out of 10. Let me know if you guys watched it, if you plan on going to watch it, what you thought about it, how you think about my thoughts, my opinions. Again, this is my review. It's not facts. It's just how I felt about watching the movie. But I usually love to put people on, tell them what I thought about anime movies, anime in general. I just like to put my 2 cents, because I have a lot to say when it comes to watching anime. I absorb a lot of that content. So again, let me know what you guys thought. Let me know what you guys thought of the video. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, all that. I'd greatly appreciate it, and I always appreciate y'all. So again, gonna try to do more of these review videos, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.